Welcome back to Standard 9 Science and Technology Part 1. We are going to learn the Module 2 of the chapter Substances in Common Use. Children, can you recollect what we have discussed in our previous module? In our previous module, we have learned about salts. Salts are ionic compounds which do not contain H plus and OH minus ions and contain only one kind of cation and anion. And we have also learned about some salts like table salt, which gives a salty taste to food, and it is the most used one. It is a neutral salt and it is used for producing other salts. We have also learned about baking soda or sodium bicarbonate, which is a white non-crystalline powder and used to make bread, cake, dokla and other bakery products. It is also used to reduce acidity and also used in the fire extinguisher. Then we have learned about calcium oxychloride, which is commonly called as bleaching powder, a yellowish white colored solid substance, and this is used for disinfection, especially drinking water and water in the swimming pool, and also for disinfection by roadside and garbage sites. In this module, we will be learning more about a salt, that is washing soda. We'll also learn about substances with water of crystallization, about soap, and also about radioactive substances. First, let us discuss about washing soda. Children, we know the use very well. Washing soda is used for washing clothes. If you see, when you draw hot water from a well or a bore well, if you add this washing soda, the hardness of the substance, that is the hardness of the well water, becomes soft and it forms lather. The hardness of the water is due to the presence of salts like chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. So what this washing soda does? Washing soda having the chemical name sodium carbonate and the formula Na2CO3, when it is added to a hard water, it softens hard water and makes it suitable for use. This is the first thing that the washing soda does to a hard water. How the hard water is converted to soft water is by the reaction of the sodium carbonate with the chloride salts of this calcium and magnesium. It forms insoluble carbonate salts. Once it is insoluble, children, it will settle down at the bottom. So see this reaction. This magnesium chloride reacts with sodium carbonate, forms insoluble magnesium carbonate and sodium chloride. Hence the hardness of the water is removed. If you see about sodium carbonate, it is a water soluble salt of sodium. The crystalline sodium carbonate, so this is crystalline in nature. On heating, it loses its water of crystallization. Children, we know that water of crystallization is the one that supports the crystal structure of a salt. So when you heat, the water of crystallization is lost and a white powder is obtained. And this powder is called as washing soda. If you look at the reaction, sodium carbonate with 10 molecules of H2O, this is the water of crystallization. On heating, loses water and form sodium carbonate into H2O. This is nothing but washing soda. Let us discuss the properties and uses of washing soda. Washing soda is a whitish and odorless powder at room temperature. It turns red litmus into blue. That is, the aqueous solution of this washing soda turns red litmus into blue color. It is hygroscopic, that is, it absorbs moisture in the air. That is why, children, in the monsoon season, if you see, our washing powder becomes wet because it absorbs moisture from the air. So it is called hygroscopic property. The use we know very well. It is used mainly for washing clothes. It is also used in glass and paper industry, and also in refining of petrol. This sodium carbonate or washing soda reacts with acid, sulfuric acid, to form sodium sulfate and liberate carbon dioxide gas. This is a property of sodium carbonate. Let us see some substances with water of crystallization. Children, what is meant by water of crystallization? These are the water molecules present inside the crystals. They support the crystal structure of salts and gives color to the salts in some cases. For example, you take alum, which is commonly called as potash alum. Potash alum, it is used as a water purifier and it is an antiseptic also. It is used to treat skin inflammation. Then about borax. Borax is a household cleaner. It is also used as a booster for a laundry. Then Epsom salt is a common name. The chemical name is magnesium sulfate. It is used to treat body pain. It is used to cure inflammation and also used for constipation problems. Then barium chloride. Barium chloride, it is highly toxic in nature, so have limited applications only. It is mainly used in industrial purpose, like for example hardening of steel. The next is sodium sulfate, which is commonly called as Glauber's salt. It is used as a laxative. It also helpful for removing certain drugs from the body. Another important salt with water of crystallization is blue vitriol, which is a common name, and the chemical name is copper sulfate. It is used for blood test and also for diagnosing anemia. In the Borax mixture, slaked lime is used with the blue vitriol. They have an antifungal property. So they are used as a fungicide on fruits like grapes, muskmelon, etc. Children, can you tell what are detergents? A detergent is a surfactant or a mixture of surfactants that has cleaning property in dilute solution with water. Can you say which chemicals and apparatus will you use in the lab for making soap? This you have learned in your previous standards. We use oils like vegetable oils and chemicals like sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride, and apparatus like beaker, burner, etc. for making soap in the lab. More about soap, children. When oil or animal fat is boiled with aqueous solution of sodium or potassium hydroxide, it forms sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid. These are called as soap. When the soap is mixed with hard water, calcium and magnesium salts of fatty acids are formed. So these being water insoluble, they form a precipitate, and that is why a lather is formed when using a soap. Children, this picture describes a simple way of making soap. You can see we are adding oil with water and caustic soda. It is nothing but sodium hydroxide. We are adding fragrances and colors. Then they are blended together and poured into a mold. We will be heating it and make it rest for at least 24 hours so that we will get a bar of soap. This bar can be cut into desired shape and has to be kept at rest for a process called curing so that it will set well. This is done for approximately 4 weeks so that our soap is ready. It is a very simple process. We know that there are two types of soaps available, that is bathing soap and washing soap. So what are the difference between them? If you take a bathing soap, it uses high grade fats and oils as raw materials, where for washing soap we use low grade fats and oils. Bathing soaps are potassium salts of fatty acids, whereas washing soaps are sodium salts of fatty acids. So it is a mild soap. For bathing it is a mild soap, and for washing it is a hard soap. And we know the usage very well. Bathing soap is used for bathing, and for washing soap is used for washing the clothes. Now children, let us learn about radioactive substances. What are these radioactive substances? If you see the elements with high atomic number, for example, you take uranium, thorium, radium, they have a natural property of emitting invisible and highly penetrating high energy radiation. So this you see commonly in elements with higher atomic number, and this property is called as radioactivity. A substance that has having this property is called as a radioactive substance. If you see the nucleus of a radioactive element, it is highly unstable. So the radiation is due to the instability of the nucleus. When we look at the types of radiations, there are three types of radiations given out by radioactive substances. These are alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays. When we see the nature of radioactive radiation, in 1889, Rutherford is the scientist who discovered that the radiations emitted by the element radium were of two types. Those are alpha and beta. These two were the radiations that were initially discovered. Then Willard discovered the third type, namely gamma radiation. See, when the rays were allowed to pass through two oppositely charged plates, they get separated. So this is how these radiations were discovered. This was introduced by Rutherford in 1902. If you can see this picture, you can see alpha is deflected to one side, beta radiation are deflected to the other side, and gamma is going in a straight line. So using this oppositely charged plates, they were able to separate the radiations emitted out of radioactive substances. The scientists Rutherford and Willard, they were studying about the radiations emitted by radioactive substances. It was found that the radiation, as discussed, were divided into three types. So what they did, they allowed it to pass through an electrical field. That is, the electrical field contains positive and negative charge, and in the path of travel at photographic plate was held. So depending on the signature that is brought on the photographic plate, the rays were categorized. If you see the radioactive substance which is kept in a lead block, this is because to avoid any escape of the radiation. We know the radiation are harmful, so they have kept inside a lead block, and they have been finely channelized at one point so that they will pass through electrically charged plates. When they were passed through the plates, you can see the radiations being deflected and give their mark in the photographic plate. So based on this, the radiations were classified as alpha, beta and gamma rays. On studying about the mark of the rays in the photographic plate, it is found that one type of radiation deviated slightly towards negatively charged plate. So the one that is deviated towards negatively charged plate is alpha ray. And if you see the second time, it is deviated substantially, that you can see the deviation is high, substantially towards the positive charged plate. So those that move towards the positive, that is deflected towards positive charge, are called as beta rays. If you see the third type, it does not deviate at all. It is not influenced by either positive or negative charge, but pass as a straight line, and those rays are named as gamma rays. So children, let us now discuss about the properties of these rays, alpha, beta and gamma rays. First, about nature of the particle. If we look at alpha rays, Alpha rays are a combination of, as you can see, two positive charge, this is nothing but proton, and two neutron. This is the component of helium nucleus. So alpha rays are particles or current of helium nucleus. It can be said like that. Then if you look at beta rays are negatively charged. That is why we saw the deflection towards a positively charged electron. If you take an atom, the component that is negatively charged is nothing but an electron. So beta rays are nothing but current of electrons. When you look at gamma rays are electromagnetic radiation. They do not possess a charge, they just emit or travel at a high speed. When you look at the mass, the weight of the particles, first one about alpha rays. Alpha rays has a mass of approximately 4 unit. Then beta rays, if you see the mass of an electron, it is 0.0000548 atomical units, and gamma rays, as they have no particle in it, there is no mass for gamma rays. When we look at the charge, since alpha rays contains two positively charged proton, the charge of alpha ray is +2, whereas beta ray consists of electron, the charge is -1. Gamma rays, they do not have any charge, they are electrically neutral. When we look at the velocity with which they travel, when you look at the alpha particle, they have the velocity of about 1/5 to 1/20th the time of velocity of light, whereas beta rays are a bit faster. They have 1/5 to 9/10 times of the velocity of light, where the fastest is the gamma rays, which travel with the same velocity as that of light. When we see about the deviation in electric field, since the alpha rays are positively charged, they will be attracted towards a negatively charged plate. We know that opposite charges attract, so they deviate towards the negatively charged plate. Whereas beta rays, being negative in nature, will be attracted towards positively charged plate. As the gamma rays, they do not have any charge at all. They are not deviated at all. It travels in a straight line. Then let us look at a penetrating property. Penetrating means traveling through some substance. When you look at alpha rays, as you can see, we have taken sheets of paper, aluminium and lead. Alpha has a very less penetrating property. Okay, it cannot pass through it. It needs a thickness of less than 0.2 millimeter. Only then it can penetrate. The penetrating power of alpha rays is less. If you look at beta rays, it can penetrate through a thickness of 2 millimeter aluminium sheet. That is approximately, we can say it is 100 times more penetrating than alpha rays. But when you see gamma rays can penetrate a 15 centimeter thick lead screen. That is, it has 10,000 times the penetration power of alpha rays. When you see ionization power, that is the ability to charge an atom, the ionization power of alpha rays is very high, where beta rays it is low, and gamma rays it is very low, or sometimes there won't be any ionization at all. When we see the power to produce fluorescence is the ability to produce light, that is absorbing light and emitting back. Alpha rays have very high fluorescent property, where beta rays have very low and gamma rays have low fluorescent properties. Children, it's time to summarize our module now. We have learned that washing soda is a whitish colorless powder at room temperature and has hygroscopic property. It is mainly used for washing cloth as well as in glass, paper and refining of petrol as well. When oil or animal fat is boiled with aqueous solution of sodium or potassium hydroxide, sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acids are formed, and these salts are called as soap. The elements with high atomic number have a property of spontaneously emitting invisible, high penetrating and high energy radiation, which is called as radioactivity. and the substance having this property is called as radioactive substance. Radiations are of three types, that is alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha rays deviate slightly towards negatively charged phase, they possess positive charge. Beta rays deviate towards positively charged, they have negative charge. Where gamma rays does not deviate at all in the electric field, they are neutral in charge. Children, let us learn more about radioactivity and other things in the coming module. Till then, thank you.